What was Rasputitsa on the World War II Eastern Front? Imagine trying to move armies across a vast, frozen landscape only to be stopped by a wall of mud. That is what Rasputitsa was during World War II on the Eastern Front. This seasonal mud period struck twice a year, once in spring and again in autumn. During spring, melting snow and ice soaked the ground, turning it into a sticky, impassable mess. In autumn, heavy rains created similar conditions, making roads and fields into deep, thick mud. The term Rasputitsa means time without roads, and it perfectly describes how the terrain became almost unusable for vehicles and soldiers. This mud caused huge problems for both sides. For the Germans, who relied heavily on motorized units, Rasputitsa slowed their advances and made their supply lines vulnerable. During the German push toward Moscow in 1941, the mud stopped their tanks and trucks from moving fast. Vehicles broke down, fuel consumption increased, and supplies couldn't reach the front lines. This was a major reason why the German blitzkrieg failed to capture Moscow in time. Rivers and streams also swelled during Rasputitsa, adding to the obstacles. Swollen waterways made crossing even more difficult, especially since many roads and bridges were already poor. The muddy terrain and rising water levels created logistical nightmares for both the German and Soviet armies. But the Soviets, who knew the land well, often managed better in these conditions. They used the season to their advantage, delaying German advances and regrouping for future battles. In terms of campaign planning, Rasputitsa was a natural factor that shaped when and where battles could happen. Commanders had to wait for the muddy seasons to pass before launching major offensives. It was a non-combat challenge that slowed the pace of the war and affected how both sides fought. The vast, road-poor areas of the Soviet Union made Rasputitsa a significant obstacle. Understanding Rasputitsa helps explain why the Eastern Front was so difficult to move across. It was not just about weapons and soldiers but also about the environment. The mud directly impacted the speed of operations, the ability to supply troops, and the overall outcome of many key campaigns. It was a natural force that shaped the course of one of the most intense theaters of World War II.